from Black Ops 4, at least from a beta point of view. So we're gonna do this all from the beginning. We're gonna start off from the bads, the debatables, and the goods. So beginning on the positive note. Let's get started with the bads. So as of right now, as still in beta form, so this is very subject to change, obviously. So just gonna get straight into it. As of right now for the bads, we have graphics. So the graphics aren't bad, obviously, but they are extremely smoothed over. So a lot of times it feels like if you're playing a free-to-play game, the graphics aren't outstanding. They aren't terrible though. They're acceptable, and some parts of the map look really amazing. Sometimes the map just looks really unrendered. This is why I say this is very subject to change. Obviously, the textures aren't the main focus of this beta. The beta's main focus is gameplay. So the textures of this game, there is rendering, is all not optimized completely, which is my next topic, optimization. So we own some parts of the map. Your character can be moving around just fine, but then you get to another part of the map and it can cause your game to actually drop frames. Now, this wouldn't be that big of a deal naturally. If it wasn't like occasionally it wouldn't be that big of a deal. It's like I say a spawn spot or something like that. But that's not the thing. That is typically inside the high cluttered areas. You know, the middle of the map, the hot spots of the map. Like for example, I forgot what map it is, but it's a map with a bridge and there's a car in the middle of it. And there's hella fire, hella sparks, all this stuff going on in the background. Well, in the foreground, I guess you can say. And it's causing your game to clutter up. It doesn't frame drop all the time, but occasionally it can cause frame drops to happen. That is honestly a big problem for the game. It's optimization. It can get in your way. Next up, we have spawns. So spawns is kind of a thing that is debatable. Personally, the spawns, I feel like they're similar to other COD games. They're not terrible, but they're not good either. COD games don't necessarily give the best spawns at all because you can easily be spawn trapped typically. On this game, it feels as though spawn trapping will not happen unless you have a full squad against you, knowing what position you need to be in to force you to be spawn trapped, which sounds like a good thing. But at the same time, because that makes spawn trap difficult, they have to be very specific where they are to spawn trap you. That means that spawns are a little bit like wishy-washy. Occasionally, when playing domination, if you capture the A and B flag, the enemy will go respawn on an A flag when they shouldn't be spawning there. When you capture, let's say you capture A and C flag. Y'all on domination for the best example for just being spawned behind a lot of times when you shouldn't be, because a lot of times when it's very controlled spawns in that game mode, it seems like you're being flanked a lot more when it turns out they're just spawning there. Team deathmatch, I understand. Recently I just played a game where I was playing and they spawned me directly behind an enemy. I got killed. I was in front of him where I got killed, but then they spawned me directly behind him. Well, not directly behind him, but like behind him, and it was in his teammates. I was able to easily flank him that way. I didn't have to flank him at all. Actually, it did it for me. Honestly, I don't see that many problems with the game. The game has a lot going for it right now. Finally, what I have for their problems is weapon ready and pull up speed. So this game, it feels like every gun is ready to fight pretty slowly, including SMGs. In fact, I feel like the fastest pull-up speed gun, at least feeling wise, probably not factual wise, but feeling wise, it's a sniper. It feels like it pulls up really quick, but that's comparing it to other snipers. But comparing SMGs to other SMGs in COD games, it's slower. Comparing assault rifles to other assault rifles in COD games, it's slower. Pull-up speed in this game is very slow. So when you get in a gunfight, you're gonna be able to have to expect they gotta be there. Okay, if he expects you to be there, you're gonna lose. If you guys don't, if neither of you guys expect to be there, it's reaction time based, like a normal COD game, I guess. But weapon pull speed is seriously, I think it needs to be sped up a little bit. Finally, okay, not finally. Next up, we have debatables. So these topics are a little bit debatable. These up for debate. Some people say this is good, some people say this is bad. That's trying to be debatable. Okay, so my personal one, I haven't heard anybody talk about this, was profit. So profit for me is kind of a tough gray area, you see. In previous Black Ops 3, profit was a bit annoying or at times can feel broken because he can just one shot and your entire team gets linked together and they're dead, you know. That easy, not much effort put into it. So you would think, well, new Prophet, he doesn't just one shot kill everyone. He's a sniper who stuns people and then you can shoot him again to kill them. And that's where the gray area comes into. It's because he has to two shot people that it feels like it's bad because the linking, it doesn't link immediately. It doesn't link as fast. If you have two people there and you have to shoot and you snipe one of them, you have to snipe the other guy. Pretty soon, this other guy will kill you before he gets linked up with his teammate with the shock. And then at that point, they were just both stunned. Prophet in this game is more of a support character now. So at that point, they're both stunned, right? So you didn't kill neither of them, but you used your special. So what do? You die. Simple. But if it's a 1v1 situation, you're gonna die. Like Prophet's gonna kill you. He's gonna stun you. You're gonna sit there, and it's like getting tortured because you're laying there shocked out, and he's looking at you. He's gotta shoot you one more time. So when it's a 1v1 situation, Prophet will kill you. But if it's two people, two or more people, it's likely that Prophet is gonna lose a gunfight, even with his specialist, which is why it's a gray area. Personally, I think it's okay, but at the same time, kind of feels unusable in a lot of situations when you're playing a new game where a lot of people are sticking together. You know, next up is the time to kill. So this is very debatable. It's being really debated widespread. A lot of people are saying the time to kill is too long. A lot of people are saying it's just right. I haven't really heard anyone saying it's too fast. But the idea of this game is giving everyone a fighting chance. And that's why I feel like the time to kill in this game is really good. You know, you gotta get in a gunfight. Can you melt people? You can easily melt people. Can you get in a gunfight and heal up in the middle of a gunfight? Yes, that's one of the great things about the game. You can heal in the middle of a gunfight whenever you want. And a lot of people are saying the time to kill is too long because it gives people the time to heal up in a gunfight or things like that, right? The heal isn't that dramatic inside a gunfight. Is it useful? Definitely. But if your enemy's hitting your shots and you're healing yourself, you're going to die still, So the time to kill, I feel like it's pretty good. I want to go talk more about the time to kill and I get to the goods about this game. So movement speed. A lot of people are saying the movement speed in this game is a bit quick. Personally, I don't see any problem with the movement speed. A lot of people are saying it's a bit quick. Some people are saying it's a bit, just normal. I say it's fine. I don't say it's quick, and that's mainly because I don't see people like a lot of complaints I see about it. Be like, wow, that guy was moving too fast. Well, I don't see it that way. Sure, I see people like using a grapple hook who's really fast, because it's a grapple hook. But when it comes to like actual normal movement speed, normal sprint speed, I don't feel like it's too fast. Honestly, when I see people, they don't like. It's not like I'm saying I'll go through a doorway and then teleport to the next doorway. That's not unbelievably fast. Finally, the last debatable topic: body armor. Yes, body armor. So there's a lot of people who complain about body armor. Things to jump it off the game. Yeah, I guess you can think of it that way, but it's a one-time use item. So body armor, I don't feel like it's all that strong. It's useful. It's annoying when you get hit by it. When you hit somebody with it, of course, but it's not broken. Everyone's saying body armor is broken. It needs to be removed from the game. Well, not everyone. That's why it's debatable. But a lot of people are saying that. A lot of people are saying it's fine because you have AP rounds. Well, the AP round argument is invalid. Definitely invalid because not every gun has AP rounds. But at the same time, I do feel though that the body. Well, okay. At the same time, I feel like you don't need AP rounds because it's a one-time thing. Your character's gonna spawn in with body armor, get shot, he loses body armor. Everyone else after that point doesn't have to worry about it. But it's a one-time thing, obviously. But it doesn't mean he's gonna beat you. He's not gonna beat you every time because he has body armor. No. You see me complaining about Juggernaut because Juggernaut was you always have this extra health. When you go down, you get it right back. You get your extra health back. Now you don't do that. So you just kind of shoot it off and it's gone for good for that guy. If you get killed by him, your team is safer now. Most of the time though, you end up killing the guy with the body armor. That's because it's not all that much armor. So typically body armor is only about, for a lot of guns, it's like one extra shot, or if you use an SMG, 2 to 3 more shots, right? So for example, the Spitfire takes about 3 to 4 more shots to kill people with body armor. Is that bad? No, because the Spitfire has an extreme fire rate, and that's not talking with the Wildfire. Spitfire has an extreme fire rate with, I'm gonna do that later. Extreme fire rate with great accuracy, So it's really good. You hit those hits really good. Now people aren't going to just get away and just murder you. Body armor never really been a bit of a problem. I love the Spitfire. It's my favorite gun, So when I'm fighting people with body armor, they see me, they shoot me first, and I turn at them and I start shooting them, and they have body armor. A lot of times I still win a gunfight because I hit my shots, Body armor is really just about can you hit your shots consistently. Okay, so finally get to the goods. We're gonna get to the good part. The weapon creation system. So a lot of people are saying the weapons creation system is a bit flawed. Some this should be in debatable, but it's not. I really don't believe it's debatable. People are saying the weapon creation system are it's flawed because you can't put all the attachments on all the same guns. Well, personally, I think that's a stupid idea to do that. You see, Black Ops 3 and a lot of other Paris COD games just made it where you can just put the same attachments on all your guns. So, for example, for Black Ops 3, I have this created class system for all my SMGs. I would run around with grip, rapid fire, suppressor, and extended mags. Or when I wasn't doing that, I had before I quit playing Black Ops 3 for like a couple of months before I got back into it. I had a class system where I would use just the same attachments on literally every gun. If I had an assault rifle, if I had a shotgun, if I had a submachine gun, it was all the same attachment. It was rapid fire, grip, ELO, fast mags, extended mags. That's it. And I have scavenger at the bottom sucking out infinite ammo, basically. You know, so it didn't make guns feel unique. They didn't feel different. They didn't have their own identity. This weapon creation system has it where your guns, not all the guns have the same perks. A lot of times the attachments you can put in your guns is focusing on what's good about your gun. If your gun's good at accuracy and good at range, for example, the GK5, it's going to focus on boosting its range and accuracy. It has grip 1, grip 2. It's an SMG, by the way. It has grip 1, grip 2, long barrel 1, and long barrel 2, which eliminates firearm range, and the range fall off. So essentially, the GK5 can become an assault rifle, which is what it feels like from the beginning. It focuses on boosting its better at what it's good at. So I feel like that makes guns very unique. It's like, for example, the Spitfire. You have the Spitfire is it's a gun meant for close range combat, fast paced combat. It has laser sight 2, which laser sight does obvious thing. It makes your hip fire tight spread tighter, and laser sight 2 has it where you don't take you have even tighter hip fire spread, and you don't get the movement speed penalty. So when you move around, your hip speed doesn't spread out. It just stays the same as if you were sitting still. So that's cool. That's amazing. But what does it do? Well, so those things are on that gun in particular because it's meant for close fire gunfight. So you're gonna have those attachments for close range gunfights. So then we have the Spitfire or Wildfire. Because of how unique these guns, I feel like these guns are because of how the weapon system is. I get to do a lot of things with this. Operator mods are pretty cool. For example, the Spitfire Wildfire, dude, it's like a whole nother gun. I can go from the fast firing, accurate Spitfire. I can go from small to medium range to just essentially a small range gun or a short range gun. Because at that point, the Spitfire becomes like becomes essentially. I'm about to the clip I'm using right away. The gameplay is made with Spitfire Wildfire. Um, so it makes a gun turn into essentially a death machine. It's not gonna beat because in the past I used to challenge people with their Spitfire for like medium to long range. I used to be able to challenge those assault rifles and hope they miss a couple of their shots. By the way, that's what I mean by weapon creation system. The assault rifles, the guns feel like they're in the right place. Submachine guns should be used up close. Unless it's a GK5, in which case it's a submachine gun that should be used up close to medium. It's not really meant for those super close range, but it's meant for those close range. You know what I mean? It's not like you're about to punch somebody, but it's okay in a normal. It's a typical gunfight. The GK5 is a good gun. It's a very different type of SMG, but the guns in this game feel like they're good. You see, the assault rifle should play assault. They shouldn't be rushing. They shouldn't be up close beating SMGs. They should be medium range, moving from point to point. They're not LMGs. They don't lock down a position. They move from point to point, medium range. They do their part. They do their job. Close range, they do bad, obviously. Long range, they do bad, obviously. Snipers, long range, they do good. By the way, snipers, long range, because the sensitivity is a bit different in this game. Sniping right now is a bit confusing for a lot of people. So close range, they do bad. Long range, they do good. Hard scoping, they do good. Quick scoping, they do bad. So you see what I'm getting at now. Now perks, I like the perks in this game. The perks in this game are very good, to put it simply. The perks in this game, they counteract each other, which a lot of COD games do. But like, if you want to be secretive and silent, you got those on the same perks list. You can't just run around with a complete silent base. You have to pick what you want. If you want to have that, if you want to be completely silent, you gotta work greed or gluttony. For example, the perk 2 is essentially all speed boosting perks, except scavenger. You know, it's character boosting perks. You got scavenger, you get ammo, you got movement speed, you got dexterity, you got scavenger, you got I forgot the other ones. Lightweight, which is good movement speed, and you have gunho. Okay, so that's essentially all character boosting perks. And they all are on the same category, like they should be typically. So then you have perk one, which a lot of people are saying perk one isn't all the usual, but you have to think about it. Perk one is the survivability perks. So you have cold blooded, you hides you what does it with cold blooded, it's always done. You have tac math, which has gotten a big buff. It blocks a lot of stuff. It's amazing. You have flat jacket, which is a typical flat jacket. Tac math basically blocks almost everything in the game. It's literally everything that's not an explosive. And then you have engineer, which is gonna be a secret weapon of many people that no one's gonna talk about much, but I'm gonna talk about it right now. Engineer is amazing. You see, engineer in this game, everyone has so much equipment they put out that you can see it with engineer, so it's much more useful than it's ever been. You see claymores, you see sensor darts, you see mesh mines, you see everything. You see the dog, you see planes, you see a whole lot of stuff. You see your map glowing red, basically. Um, For the perks, good spot, good positioning. Some of them are a bit powerful, like tag manager, a bit powerful. Some of them, like Gunho, got a nice buff. So essentially, it's like it took some stuff from Dexterity, put inside of his Gunho, which makes sense. And Dexterity got its own little buff too. Finally, we go to equipment. You see, equipment it's a debatable topic again. Inside of a good topic, I think the equipments are good. The way it's done is good, but it's debatable because when we talk about health stems, people are there talking about health stems as if they're the crutch perk, help, well, not the crutch perk. People say health stem and body armor is a crutch perk. But then get health stem, body armor, acoustic, um, basically all the equipment in this game are all viable options to use. So if you want to use health stem, typically use health stem, you're going to run a gun class. If you're sitting back and sniping, you're not going to need health stem because you're going to get it back before the next time you get in a gunfight, obviously. More than likely, if you're using sniper, you're probably going to be doing something like body armor because you don't want to get pulled up from the back. If you get somebody comes to you too close, you got body armor to survive the first couple of shots and then switch over to your secondary before they kill you and hopefully get the kill. But if you don't have body armor, then sure, you might want to use acoustic sensor. So that way, if somebody's trying to sneak up behind you, you can see that before that happens. I admit some of the acoustic sensor is a bit powerful to the point where it's bad. The acoustic sensor makes it where you kind of can't see that far, where it sees too far, which gets in the way because if you see too far, you're like, oh no, somebody's over there, but it turns out they're actually closer. Like someone is actually closer to you from the right side, but you saw from the left that somebody's really far, and you can't tell who's far enough. Like Sixth Sense and on Black Ops 3, it was always close range. You only had to worry about somebody if they was on your radar, you turn around, you see them. They're there, right there next to you. Or they're right there by the wall behind you. This Sixth Sense is essentially like I'll say 4 times longer. It is dramatically long distance and it really gets in a ray a lot of times. It's helpful, of course. If you really learn how to use it, you can use it. But when it's naturally, it's a bit long, so it really makes it difficult to use. So it's usable, but you have to think about how you use it. You gotta use it very safely and very smartly. Lastly, I'm gonna talk about a topic that a lot of people feel like a lot of people say it's just bad in this game. So when I mentioned time to kill in debatables, this is what I meant. Consistency. So a lot of people will say, I think this is a good session by the way. Gun consistency in this game, I think it's good. A lot of people say gun consistency is bad because a lot of times you can be fighting someone and you melt through them and then you fight someone again and then it just doesn't feel like they died as fast. It just feels like all of a sudden they have too much health. Well, let's get straight to the point. That's because a lot of things in this game is meant to mess up the rhythm of the game. It's good, not a bad way. It's meant to be different. It's meant to make it where you can, just make it where the game isn't 100% consistent. It's not going to happen like this every single time. So, what I mean by that? Remember how I talked about SMGs to be SMGs and assaults should be assaults? Well, yeah. People who use SMGs are like used to running around SMG and just killing everybody they want. You want to kill a sniper from a long distance? You kill that sniper from long distance. You don't care. Well, this game is different. this game has very strict damage fall off rules, which is amazing because that means SMGs up close they do their job. From afar they don't do their job so much, not anymore really. So you're gonna be like, hey, that guy's 10 feet away, but he didn't die as fast as the guy who was 5 feet away. Of course he didn't. You have damage fall off, you know. So that consistency is part of it right there. And then like for assault rifles, up close you go do like a 2 to 3 shot kill a lot of times. For example, the Rampart 17. It gets a very good 2 to 3 shot kill range, right? And then mid range is like 3 to 4 shot kills. And then super long range is 4 or 5 to 6 shots kills. It's not inconsistent. It's very consistent. It just depends on what position you're on the map. And people are not noticing that when you're using SMG, you shouldn't, because a lot of users out there are claiming this, because they're trying to use their SMG from mid range when they really shouldn't be doing that. And that's really where we're coming out saying it's not consistent. So a lot of times, the only thing that really makes people mad about consistency and they don't notice it is the damage fall off. Of course, it can be a bit of a problem when you get thrown off guard by somebody with body armor. You didn't expect them to have body armor, or somebody who has crash, who heals them. Yeah, that's a bit that changes it also, but that's not the main problem. You know, the main thing that's causing your consistency, your kills to change up, is really the damage fall off. In which case, I say it's not the game's fault. It's the fault of the player for putting themselves inside that position with that gun type of gun. You shouldn't be trying to not snipe someone with SMG. You shouldn't be trying to fight a sniper with an assault rifle. We should learn the distances and which damage fall off is, because every gun has a different range fall off. Obviously, you know, like the GK5, that's a submachine gun that's best for short to mid range fights. You know, so what can you do with that? Well, does that mean you should be able to fight assault rifles with it? Not really. Occasionally you can if the assault rifle misses their shot. If you shoot that guy with your assault rifle and he turns and shoots you from afar and he melts you, don't be mad. Because it's totally natural to happen because it's an assault rifle. He's at the proper distance for him. You're not at your distance. You should have come closer, you know? GK5 however has a little long barrel which removes our fall off range, which I guess is it's okay. It's acceptable. I like it because it turns into a assault rifle. And that's what the GK5 really turns into and meant to be played as. But yeah, that's about it. That's a lot of complaints and a lot of worries going on with this game right now. But all in all, definitely believe this card game is one to look forward to. Treyarch really put a lot of effort into this game. They've had 3 years to build it up to be what it is today. Yeah, they put a lot of effort into this game. A lot of things are being balanced. A lot of things that are looked at not balanced are actually pretty balanced, depending because they are counteracted by other things. Or, you know, for example, the Sixth Sense, which is not balanced really because of how powerful it is, but it's balanced because of how powerful it is. You see, it's confusing because how powerful it is. It's good, but it's weak. It's its own killer. It's it's a double-edged sword basically. And like you have these equipments like stems, stuff like that. Oh, these are all powerful, but now what do you do? If they're all powerful, then no one is powerful. You know, like the great incredible saying: if everyone's super, no one's super. Because, for example, if all this equipment is powerful, you only get to pick one equipment. Oh, so what are you gonna do now? Because that equipment's not better than this equipment. It's good when you use it properly, but it's not better than this one. And that one that I said it's not better than isn't better than that one. They're like, you're good at your own thing. You do you. I'm good at my thing. I'm gonna do me. You know, it's all about consistently being good. You know, a lot of people are saying the game is a bit too competitive. Feeling you can't run around. You can't mow people down. Well, you guys probably saw I saw in that clip. I was mowing people down, no problem. Multiple people all the time. Um, you can easily get kills in this game. It's all about accuracy. This game is really all about accuracy and preparedness for the gunfight. If you're not ready for the gunfight, you should lose that gunfight logically. You should, if you know what you're doing in your game, if you know what gun you're using, you should know how to use your gun to your advantage. And that's what this game's about. Using your guns properly and not going out it, not taking yourself into positions that you should not be in to try to win those gunfights. Previous COD games have trained us to be like, oh, I have an SMG, I can kill people wherever I want. I have sniper, I can kill people wherever I want. I have a shotgun, well, I can kill people wherever I want. You know, a lot of COD games in the past just made it where all guns can do everything. You know, it's not like you really care. where you're on a game, how you're playing. It's not every gun can have the same playstyle. And that's the thing. This game is very different about that. Not every gun can have the same playstyle. If you try to do the same playstyle with every gun, that won't happen. In fact, one thing that's obvious about that is the entire created class system for it. The entire attachments for the guns, which is why I think this COD game is really, really being very thoroughly thought out, and it's going to be probably one of the best COD games we've had in a while. Not saying it's going to be the best COD game, obviously. Just saying it's going to be one of the best that we've had in a while. Probably better than World War II. Definitely going to be, I say it's definitely going to be better than the future COD games we've had. So if you guys are watching the video and you guys are thinking, should I get this COD game? I say yeah. If you guys enjoyed the past COD games, I think you guys are going to really enjoy this one. Especially if you guys enjoyed past COD games that was boots on the ground. If you guys enjoyed World War II, I think you guys are going to enjoy this one. If you guys enjoy the Jetpack COD games and you guys really want to stay there, you can stay there. But if you guys really like the Jetpack COD games and you guys like the gunplay of Black Ops 3, but you want it to be a little bit, fairer, then yeah, this is the game for you. This COD game is something I'm really looking forward to, and I really believe it has the potential to just become one of the best. Thanks you guys for watching. Hope any of this commentary helped you guys out and made you guys understand some situations, the good, the bad, the debatable about the COD game. Hope you guys liked the video. See y'all in the next one.